Hiya guys, welcome to this short video for ERS. So literally this is just a bit of staff training, a bit of information for you. Quite a long video, to be honest at this stage. I don't really know how long, I don't know how much I'm going to say, but we just wanted a little bit of standardisation in some of the things we're doing. So I'm going to start off with looking at our kit. I'm then going to move into talking about some anchors. So this isn't really anything to do with the climbing side of things. This is just about kind of what you can do and what all of us can do as a team. So just remembering that you don't have to be dangling off a rope to be part of the ropes team. We also need people to set up the anchors, look after the safety, do the hauling and all them kind of bits and pieces as well. So it really is a big team effort. If I get to edit this video, I'll kind of cut some bits out, but if not, you have to just bear with me and fast forward it when it starts to get boring. Okay, so the first thing is we're going to look at the kit. So let's have a look what we've got. Okay, so here's a standard red kit bag. We've got two of these which are exactly the same and they're just labelled kit 1 and 2, but what we've also done is we've colour coded it. So everything in kit 1 has a yellow tab on it, everything in kit 2 has a red tab. We've also got some older bags and we're using them for training. So at the moment there's one full training kit which is white as well as training. But it's just to keep everything identical. So let's start and have a look in this kit bag. So first of all, with the kit bag laid on the floor, this pocket on the right hand side as I'm kind of looking at it, if we open this up, this has got some of our safety bits in there. So the first thing we've done is popped an anchor in there, and we've got these wire anchors. And as you can see, we just labelled everything up, and this would be part of the inventory to make sure we log when we use our equipment. So all we're doing is using these as anchors to go around, so just nice wire anchors. We'll be looking at some of these. So that's all we've got in this side. Let's just zip that one back up. Then what we've got is 3 pulleys. Again, everything's just labelled up. We've chose to use 3 different pulleys just because they've got their benefits and disadvantages and bits and pieces. So we're tending to use this type of pulley here at the very top as an anchor, so that when the rope runs through it, if something fouled in here, you've got this safety backup. So that would be the anchor, the rope would go through and you've got that as a safety. Where if you use this one for an example and something went wrong, the rope would just pull out. But what we're going to be doing is using these ones for the hauling. So these are more the rescue type of ones, where we're going to use this as more of like a top anchor. So 3 different pulleys in there, and then we've just got a load of these steel carabiners. These can take a fair bit of pressure on them, 25 kilonewtons. They're all screw gate, they're all oval, they're all the same. So 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There we go. So 6 in there. These are the kind of things you might end up clipping that on, clipping it onto your harness, and then you know you've got it with you if you need it. So that's what we want to keep in that pocket, and what we would really appreciate is everyone puts everything back in the same places. If we turn it around, so then this other side, this is some of your personal bits and pieces. In here will be the ASAP. So here's the pretzel ASAP. If you are the one dangling on a rope, this will be attached to your chest, and then this is the quick bit which comes off to clip it onto the rope. But what we've done is we've just given it a little bit of cord so that we never lose the ASAP. That's all that little bit of cord is for, because if that's attached, you never want to drop that. This isn't just used by people dangling off a rope, so if we're setting up top anchors, we could well have this into an anchor, and then if we've got the safety rope, we'd have the safety rope running through here if we're lowering someone down. So again, it's not just about those people dangling off the rope, it's about the people setting up the safety as well. So we can look at that as well. So that will always go in that end one. So we keep that there. In here is going to be your pretzel ID. So this is your lowering device. Again, if you're the one dangling the rope, you could have it on your waist, and you'll be using this to abseil, to descend the rope. But we're going to look at using one of these as an anchor, so we won't be attached to it. This will be attached to the anchor point, and then we can lower our person through the pretzel ID. So we need to be familiar with that. And then in here we should have 2 hand jammers. Again, everything's labelled up with the yellow colour, and what we've got in here is a ladder which will attach to it. So this is where you can take out one of your carabiners. Your carabiner then can go into the bottom of the hand jammer. The yellow bits are for your feet, so that would attach onto there. Do your screw gate. You can store some of that in the hand jammer itself to tuck it out the way, and then that can be attached to your harness and held there until you need it. This would always be attached to a lanyard as well, which will be attached to our harness, which we look up in the setup of that. But these are what we're keeping in the outside pockets. So again, when we're finished, we just take everything apart so that we can count everything back in and we know everything is in place. So the 2 hand jammers will go in there. Our little step ladder for our ascending can go with them or just on the outside. So pretty much our safety equipment in there. At the moment we haven't got anything in the top pocket, but if we go into the main part of the bag now, open this up, again there's a larger wire anchor in there. There's the harness, which you should be familiar with, which we'll do separately. There's a couple of slings, so a short sling and a longer sling, and we might look at using a couple of these for the anchors, but they're in there. In the top here, we've just got some bits for protecting the rope over sharp edges, so the rope can run through there. You can then put this around the rope to protect it, but that would be a static rope as long as it's not moving. If it's a static rope, you can do that. If it's a moving rope, then obviously you'd leave it open. These little tie bits here are just so we don't ever lose it. There's a second one in there, slightly different, but the same process. And then what we've put in the top one here is just another bit of safety equipment. So this can go onto your harness, and then you've got the quick clips here for going onto scaffolding, so you can anchor on there. You can actually use those if you're climbing a ladder. So if we just look, we've got a ladder here, and it may be a factor of climb the ladder. So we're always safe, there's always one on. You then bring up the next one, you're always safe, bring up the next one. You can use those one at a time to make sure you're safe when you're climbing that ladder. So that's really the main things within the bag, but then there's going to be lots of additional things. So once you get your harness on, which I'm going to put my harness on now, you would then put all these bits and pieces on as well, so that you've got them. So as well as all of this, you obviously have all your PPE on. Every time we come to training or a real event, we want you to wear your boots, your overalls, your helmets, goggles, gloves, all your bits and pieces, but the main thing here is going to be our harness. So I'm going to get my harness on now, and then we'll start looking at some anchors.